Welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to have you here. Today's video is all about the ugly side of Amazon. You can see I've said here, scumbag bad actor seller attacks. And that's just me putting it very, very lightly. So if you're new to the channel, my name's Sharon Evan, and I'll tell you a little bit more about myself shortly. But I want to explain to you why I am making this video, because it's not the typical type of video that you'll find Amazon YouTubers speaking about. And the reason I'm speaking about it is because I feel it's, our duty as people who are educating other people into this, about this industry. It's our duty to balance everything out. So I do my best in this channel to not only speak about the most amazing things that Amazon has done in my life and how Amazon's changed my life, but also speak about the headaches that you go through and the shitty side of it, because there is a shitty side that's extremely, extremely annoying and can sometimes be very depressing. And a lot of people aren't prepared for it, because all you see on YouTube and in courses is, the Lamborghinis and the happy lifestyle and the freedom, etc., etc. But you need to remember that that is what we choose to show you. I personally on this channel do not only show that side. I mean, I definitely don't have a Lamborghini, nor will I ever have a Lamborghini. I do feel like I have the freedom and I have the lifestyle, but I do my best in this channel to also talk about everything, all the sides of Amazon, the great sides, the not so great sides, the difficulties, the easy, everything together. It's important to always show a correct picture of what anything really is. You always have to show the good and the bad, or that's my view on it anyway. So that's what we're going to speak about in this video. Obviously a specific something happened to me. I mean, I've had lots of things happen to me in my 4 years of selling on Amazon, but specifically in October I had 4 of my Asins taken down on Prime Day. And it took a good couple of weeks to get them back. Well, I got some of them back quite quickly, but it took me, my bestseller, to get it back weeks. And we lost tens of thousands of dollars from having that happen. There is a happy ending, and I did get the listings back. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what happened, how I found out it happened, everything I had to go through in order to get the listings back. And I'll probably also share a little bit about how it had affected me also, emotionally, because especially if you work from home, it is so difficult to separate work and work life and home life, right? It's, I'm filming this in the middle of the night. You can see I've got my son's monitor here, and it's part of working and living from home, right? So you don't always have the luxury of being able to switch things off. And when something shitty happens on Amazon, it can really affect you. And especially if you're someone like me that has multiple businesses, and I've got multiple brands on Amazon and also multiple businesses off of Amazon, like this YouTube channel and my coaching. It's not always easy to then put up a happy joy face, which is also why I didn't really bring out a video on YouTube during October, because behind the scenes I was going through all this shit, and it would have been extremely fake of me to come on Amazon, to come on YouTube and smiled and saying how amazing Amazon is, when in reality during that time I was going through what to me was a nightmare. Probably one of my longest intros, but this is just raw and me being really honest and straight up. So anyway, let's get into the computer and see what actually happened. So the ugly side of Amazon, scumbag bad actor seller attacks, because I was under attack. Somebody did this to me. We'll speak about that soon. If you're new here, my name is Sharon Evan, and I'm a 7-figure Amazon FBA seller, and I created this channel to share information with people like you about e-commerce and Amazon in general. This is just a few of my videos. I've got over 60 videos on this channel, so make sure to subscribe if you're interested in valuable and in-depth information, because this video will also be in-depth. Click subscribe and that notification bell so you know when I bring out more videos. This year I have featured in over 17 podcasts and seller events. And I'm telling you this not to boast, but so that you know that I'm not just another YouTuber speaking about Amazon, but I am, quite known or respected in the industry. You can see me here with Danny McMillan, Ken Golzari, Bradley from Helium 10, Megla, Leron Hirschkorn, people that are really well known in the industry. And I've also spoken in many, many seller events this year as well. You can check out my website and also see most of those podcasts as well. If you're not part of the Amazon FBA Alphas group, I invite you to join our group. This is where not only I share a lot of information, but we have a beautiful, honestly, one of the best communities in my opinion. We were even voted number 4 on Seller Poll this year as the 4th best Amazon FBA group, which is a pretty awesome accomplishment. So I invite you to join our group. If you want to reach out to me, you can find me on Instagram. I actually shared on Instagram every single day what I was going through with Amazon. This is my Facebook. Obviously, you're watching this on YouTube, and this is my website if you'd like to see what other things I do apart from YouTube and Amazon as well. So basically we had 4 products taken down on Prime Day, which was the 13th and 14th of October, but on the 13th of October is when the products were taken down. One of them was a bestseller in this brand and took almost 30 days to get it back. After going back and checking, I realized that it was only about something like 18 or 19 days, but it was still a really long time. This was done by bad actor sellers, meaning it was an attack to have us taken down. And why would anyone do that is basically so that I don't exist, so that they can get sales, right? The funny thing here is that before Prime Day, a week before Prime Day, I made a Prime Day video, which I will put up now and you can see it. And in that video, I prepared people for black hat tactics that happened during Prime Day, and I said all sorts of different things there. Never did I really imagine that I was preparing myself for something that was also going to be happening to me. I have been under attack in the past, which is why I included that in the video, but nothing this vicious, and you'll see what I mean soon. Anyway, I believe it was an inside job. So what I mean by that, and let me just say I don't have proof of this, but you can come to your own conclusion by the end of this video. I believe that this was a competitor who did not want us to be up on Prime Day and had paid an Amazon worker to basically upload a flat file, and you'll see what I mean shortly, in order to have us taken down. I'll speak more about that soon. I'm being very careful with what I'm saying because it's not that I'm accusing Amazon of this. However, I do not see any other logical reason apart from the fact that someone on the inside was paid to do this, especially if you look up the big scandal right now. Amazon is suing. I actually don't know who is suing, but I'm pretty sure it's Amazon suing a few different Amazon related consultants for $100 million for all sorts of bribery issues. You can look at this up on Google. And this is what I believe that had happened to us. Anyway, tens of thousands of dollars were lost, but I did get them back in the end. When I say back, it was not the money back, but I did get the listings back, which is a happy ending because there's many people that would not have been able to get their listing back. The only one good thing that came out of this was that the reviews were merged again between the variations. So 2 of those products, the products have variations, and the reviews had been split amongst the variations about 6 or 7 months ago. When the products came back live, the reviews were merged again, which means that we were back to 4.5 stars, which was very, very crucial in this niche. So that was the only good thing that came out of it. The second good thing, I guess, that came out of it is that you guys want a video about this, because probably you won't see another one like this on YouTube. No one talks about the shitty side of things. So at least that also happened. So this is where it all started. On the 13th of October, which was Prime Day 2020, the first email for the first product arrived. I I actually knew that the product had been taken down before this email because I was on Seller Central, as you are, on a day like Prime Day, glued to your computer screen. And I had seen that the listing had said blocked. So it wasn't suppressed, it wasn't restricted, it was blocked. And then I had to go live. I was already scheduled to speak at a live event about 20 minutes after I'd found out that one of our listings was taken down. It was Sellers Alley, and had a 48-hour megathon for Prime Day where they were interviewing all sorts of different people from the industry, and I was the first one up. So I also couldn't cancel it, even though I was emotionally, not a wreck, but I was just really angry, right? So I'll probably put a video up for the first 2 minutes of that right now so you can see how I reacted to that. And currently it's been flagged as restricted for absolutely no reason. And there's no doubt in my mind that, it's either something internal or a competitor attacking us. And this is the crazy side that you sometimes have to deal with when you have a best-selling product, especially if you have a best-selling badge on a product. And I don't know if you can tell, you've seen me speak many times, I'm sure. I'm not 100% myself because I only realized this about an hour and a half ago. And I was like, oh, it's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen this year. It's all good. It's all good. And then boom, I go and I see that, there's a little dog instead of a listing. So I'll put the link to the video up right now, and you can see that after this video, you can see how I reacted to that because I did put the video up on my YouTube channel. It's actually a really good video, so I do suggest that you watch it later. Anyway, back to the video, back to the email I'd received. So you can see it says here, I understand that Asin blah, blah, blah is being restricted because I opened up a ticket once I realized it was restricted. The product is restricted under Amazon's PCRP restricted product policy, which I had no idea what that meant. This product is under review for being a potentially prohibited product against the policy illegal drug peyote, I think that is, policy 154508. The review period generally takes 2 to 4 business days. We're in the middle of Prime Day. One of the biggest, we're not even in the middle, we're in the morning of Prime Day US time. This is, my time, US time, it was in the morning. We're in the morning of Prime Day. The first thing that went through my head was, I don't have 2 to 4 business days. This product I had paid, so this is one of my beauty brands and this is one of my beauty products. I had paid influencers to basically send buyers or potential buyers to a dog page on Amazon, because when you went to this, if you followed a link to this product, it would take you to a dog page because the product had been taken down. I did a lot of external things as well, and everything was basically going to a dog page. At this stage, I wasn't as upset, I was just really angry because I had understood that we were under attack. And I did say it also in the video with Yana when I was being interviewed, because I knew I was under attack, but you will hear me in that video saying, it'll probably be back tomorrow. Little did I know what was waiting for me later on in that day. Anyway, I have to include this in here because it did help me to quickly understand what was happening. Because I do one-on-one coaching, I've coached over 700 Amazon FBA sellers, in case you don't know, I do one-on-one mentoring. I usually am the person who puts out the fires. When people usually have issues, they usually come to me and suddenly I was the one with the problems. One of my past, well, she's also a current client of mine, Carrie, who's probably watching this, shout out to you, Carrie, had something similar happen to her. It was actually the same thing happened to her. I can't remember how long ago, but it was probably about 4 or 5 months ago. And it started reminding me of what had happened to her. And basically what had happened to her, and I knew this when I got this email, what happened to her was that somebody had gone into her Canadian account. She sold on Amazon, but somebody went through the Canadian account and put in heaps of drug-related keywords. And that took down her entire listing across Amazon as well, Amazon.com as well. and she was not able to get that back. And basically had to remove all of her stock. She had about 60 days or 30 days to deal with it and wasn't able to. So that was in the back of my mind, which means I straight away knew to also go and check Canada. Otherwise, it probably would have taken me a couple of hours to figure out that something maybe has gone wrong with Canada. Later on during the day is when my other Asins started getting restricted as well. I don't know why they weren't all restricted at the same time, but this is what had happened. You can see that this was later on the 13th. I have two different emails here. One is from Amazon.com, one is from Amazon Canada. And basically it says, we're writing to let you know that the following detail pages have been removed from our catalog. And this was two more Asins of mine. The products have been identified as noxious, I think that is, weed seed prohibited by Canadian law. At this stage, I think at this stage I was really stressing out. Anyway, it says to take action because it's not prohibited in Amazon Canada. So had I not had Carrie's problem that she had gone through in the back of my head, in the back of my mind, this would have been the giveaway that something's wrong in the Canadian account. Now I'll stop for a second and explain to you. We sell this brand and these products, it's our own brand. We're brand registered, we own trademarks, everything. We don't have the transparency program and we don't have Project Zero. But after a lot of research, back and forth with Amazon Transparency, and back and forth with many big, and when I say big, I know a lot of people in the industry. And again, I'm not saying this to boast, I'm saying this so that you understand. I know who to speak to when things happen. Everyone had said to me that nothing could have stopped this from happening, which for some of you may be a little bit scary to hear that, but nothing could have stopped this from happening. Even though I'm brand registered, it doesn't matter. Somebody had gone in and basically uploaded a flat file, and I'll speak about that soon. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, this was the giveaway that something was wrong in Canada. So we sell these products on Amazon.com, and we're ungated for topicals in Amazon.com. We're not ungated for topicals in Canada, and we remote fulfill these products. So from our Amazon USA, it sells it in Amazon Canada. But two of these products that were actually restricted, we don't sell in the Canadian market because you need to be ungated in order to sell them, and we weren't ungated, and it wasn't really something that we were into at that point of time. So anyway, it's just important you know that two of those products exist in the Canadian account, and the other two, they're not even part of the inventory there because we don't sell it there. Anyway, this was a giveaway that it was Canada, and then notice it says here what actions to take. That if any of the above Asins are fulfilled by Amazon, please initiate a removal request, blah, blah, blah. And then it says here, within 48 hours of this warning, please review your listings and close, delete, or archive any listings that do not comply. Now, this is basically saying that we have 48 hours to start taking action. Otherwise, I don't 100% know what they're trying to say that would have happened. It didn't scare me too much. I'm an experienced Amazon seller. And I, in a way, went into action straight away. But if you get an email like that, you definitely need to start going into action mode. So after this email, I had started requesting reinstatement. I had started making phone calls to Amazon and uploading flat files, etc., which I'll speak about soon. And I had asked for reinstatement. And then it says here, we understand that you're requesting a reinstate your listing, this listing. We were unable to complete the process as the information provided is not sufficient to reinstate the listing. The product is restricted under Amazon's PCRP, again that word, restricted product policy. This product has been identified as, so it's the same thing as the first one. Anyway, this was nowhere near as bad as the next email I'm going to show you. The next email is probably the worst email I have ever received from Amazon in my 4 years of selling on Amazon. This was the first time I remember myself being like, holy shit, what is going on? And from here, for about a week, I became not the nicest person in the world because I was dealing with a lot of stress. So this was the email. This will freak some of you out. it definitely freaked me out as well. This is basically telling me that we're writing to let you know that the following detail pages have been removed from our catalog. Throughout here, there are altogether 4 different Asins, each Asin's showing a different reason. And what you're going to see here is heaps of drug-related keywords. So I don't even know how to say that keyword. Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds, Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds, clip digger, or lion's ear. And yes, you're seeing correct. It says lion's ear. I don't know what that means. Jimson weed, poppy pod, poppy straw concentrate, salva, all these random as words, CBD, wild dagger. This is for the other 2 Asins. Again, wild dagger, whatever that is, cocoa leaves, dietary supplements. Now, these are anti-aging products. These, they do not have any of this in them whatsoever, right? Like there is nothing in the listing or anything that could have triggered this. This was someone who had gone and placed these keywords in our back end for our listings in order to get us taken down. But how insane are these? These are like, what, 20 restrictions? Anyway, and then again, you've got at the bottom that we have 48 hours basically to close the listings and remove the stock. So this was my plan of action. Number 1, I started to upload new flat files to the Canadian account because I understood that the attack had happened in the Canadian account. Now, take into consideration, I could not see the back end of the keywords that were put in there in the Canadian account because I was not ungated for those products. And it was just a freaking nightmare. So I didn't know what was in the back end, but I knew that something had been in the back end. So anyway, I uploaded new flat files to the Canadian account. I saw a flat file was uploaded in the upload section on the 12th of October, which I did not do. You'll understand soon because I'll show you. I saw an uploaded flat file in my account, but I have not worked, even though I've been selling on Amazon for 4 years, I had not really worked with flat files that much. And I didn't know that if I see the flat file from within my account, it means that it was uploaded from within my account. I'm going to pause on that because that may sound very scary to you, but I didn't know that yet, and we're going with the timeline. So anyway, I just thought that I'm seeing a flat file upload, which I didn't do because maybe a vendor account had done it or somebody else had done it, but I'm seeing it on my account because it's my products. That's what I thought, and later I realized that it's not true. Anyway, I started to speak to Amazon seller support on the phone and explain that my listings were taken down due to a competitor uploading drug-related keywords, and they promised, they promised to escalate this. You'll soon see I was on the phone with them all day, every day, until I got my listings back. I applied for ungating in topicals in Canada and Mexico so that I could actually have access to the listings without the flat files and actually see the back end. I also downloaded an active listings report in the USA because I didn't have these, 2 of these weren't actually on Canada. I also downloaded a listing quality and suppressed listing report, which didn't help because they weren't suspended, they weren't suppressed, they were blocked. I went into FBA groups, including my own FBA groups, the Amazon FBA Alphas, and looked around to see if that had happened to other sellers, because I had seen that a good portion of my competitors had been taken down as well. They suddenly weren't there. So I wanted to see if it had happened to other people. And I also I went into seller forums and started a post there as well. That was the first couple of things that I had done. I can't really remember. Maybe there were other things that I did. Obviously, I'm really well connected in the industry, and I had reached out to everyone that I knew that could possibly help me. Yael Kabili, who's one of my lawyers, and Danny McMillan was one of the first people to reach out to me himself and offer help. Introduced me to some pretty big sellers to see if they could help me and give me advice. Tomer David, Liron Hirschkorn, Carlos Alvarez, who is an 8-figure Amazon FBA seller. I'd reached out to everyone to see if you know, I could get advice if they had seen their own clients go through this, if they had gone through this, because this was a pretty vicious attack. And just while I've mentioned their names, I just want to say also thank you to them, because they also really supported me emotionally as well, especially Leron Hirschkorn. He was really there for me, and Danny McMillan. Anyway, so just in case you're wondering what these reports are, you go into inventory and you go to inventory reports, and you can see your active listings report and a listing quality and suppressed listing report. The active listing report, I couldn't give you an example here because it basically shows my products, but the active listing report will basically show you your current listing with all the information of the listing, your title, your bullet points, your backend, etc. And that way you can see if there's anything sort of dodgy there. And the listing quality and suppressed listing report will show you, and I actually have a suppressed listing, so I did download this for you guys for the video. It'll show you the SKU, the product title of the product, the Asin of the product. It'll say that it's suppressed, and it will tell you the explanation of why the product is suppressed. So for this specific product, the title is prohibited phrases, which is against Amazon's policy. It's a product I no longer sell. It's just sitting there being suppressed. Anyway, that is how you can download them. And they're just there to try and help you understand what could be wrong, because, you know, you may not know if this happens to you, what's wrong yet. So it's just something that can help you guys. At the same time, I had to apply for ungating in topicals. So you can see that on the 16th of October, I had asked to be ungated for topicals, and it also explained what had happened. And then on the 19th, Amazon came back and said that they reviewed the Asins that were gated and decided that they were categorized incorrectly, and that they didn't ungate me even though I'm now ungated, but they did change the category, which means that I was able to go in and see the back end of the listings. I also found out, obviously, that I was not the only one. I knew I wasn't the only one because I'd seen that I had competitors taken down. I also went on Instagram and shared on my Instagram, which is official Sharon Evan, if you'd like to follow me, what I was going through. And I had some other influencers in the Amazon niche also reach out to me and say that they were going through something similar. At this time, we were all in beauty. After a while, I realized it wasn't just people that were in beauty. It was also people that were in gardening and home improvement. So there was a whole wave of these. I think this happened to thousands of sellers on Prime Day. I wasn't the only one that it happened to, so it happened to many. I went into different Facebook groups just to look out for different people speaking about this, and also in my group. And then there was someone who had written, did anyone have this issue? We got an Asin suspended exactly on Prime Day because it was detected for dozens of drug-related keywords. And then I saw all the different people that had responded, and I also responded, and I said what had happened. So I said somebody must have uploaded a flat file with drug-related keywords or something along those lines. Go check your Canadian account. This guy went and checked his Canadian account, and he saw that his entire back-end keywords were filled. This is his back-end with all of these keywords. So he reached out to me and sent me an image of what his back-end keywords looked like, and this was his bullet points. So you can see here his bullet points, basically, which is extremely scary to see. So you can see the Jimson weed and all sorts of clip dagger, God knows what these things mean, marshmallow leaf, panther, all sorts of like crazy random shit put in here, poppy pods, poppy tea, poppy seeds, cocoa leaves, etc. And just so you can understand, I think it was probably the next day after he had sent this to me, I could then go in and see my back end. And this is what my back end of my keywords had looked like. So this was the description. You can see that. I'm just getting pissed off again while I'm filming this. Seeing this just makes me so angry. Anyway, this was the description. This was the bullet points. The bullet points are exactly the same as his bullet points. And the assholes also made the product a choking hazard, saying that it's a balloon. And then the back-end search terms look like this. So you can see the back-end search terms. Yeah, that happened. If that wasn't enough, at the same time, since this is a video about the shitty things that can go wrong with Amazon, at the same time, Amazon had also, previous to this, so at around August, they had lost a full shipment of inventory of one of my products that I had sent in. And they lost it. I got reimbursed, but I was out of stock for like 2 months. And then I sent in new stock, and then the new stock for the same freaking product was also lost. This time they had only reimbursed me for half of it, because supposedly half of it was sitting in their warehouse, but they didn't know where it was. Anyway, on the 15th, I'm guessing it was, if that was when this email was, so it was just after Prime Day, which was the 13th and 14th, they had found the Asin that they lost. So half of the inventory was found, but they linked the inventory to a non-related product, meaning I now had the Asin that was originally lost out of stock for like 3 or 4 months, which is thousands of dollars lost. And then the stock had now been combined to a different Asin, meaning it was linked to a totally different Asin, and had to close that listing because now I've got random inventory that has nothing to do with that product. And I was too scared that people are going to receive the wrong product. I have no idea how something this ridiculous can happen. But anyway, let's read the email so you understand what Amazon was saying to me. Hello from Amazon, selling partner support. Amazon, you're so supportive. Thank you for taking the time to contact us. From our conversation, I understand that you had questions regarding the inventory for Asin. So I'm remembering now as I'm making the video, I had contacted Amazon and said, I'm seeing that the inventory has been found, but I don't see it under the Asin. However, I have a different Asin and suddenly it has more stock than what it should. In regards, please be informed that we have received an update from the internal team that item on hand has been flipped from, and this is one Asin, to another Asin. No other defects found, item will remain in inventory. As if it's okay that they had done this. Anyway, the next day, as per your email, I understand your concern is regarding the labeling of the units. It wasn't regarding the labeling, it was regarding the fact that they had put the inventory under the wrong product. I knew that my labeling was fine. I have inspections on every single order, every single time. There is absolutely no way that this product was labeled incorrectly. And in the end, I'm also right, it wasn't. It was just an Amazon fuck up. Hence, I would request, so in regards, please be informed that the items had been labeled from your end. So this is where they start pointing the finger at me. Hence, I would request you remove the inventory, label it to the correct Asin, and then resend it to us. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, please be apprised that the products that have been labeled by Amazon can only be relabeled by Amazon. So I sent in the right stock to the right product it was labeled under the right product, and Amazon had gone back and not only lost half of that inventory for the second time, they lost it all in the first time round, but not only lost it for the second time, they also had attached it to the wrong product. So I now had 4 listings down, another listing down that was not related to the restricting, that's 5, and now I had to take another listing down because Amazon had put the wrong inventory under there. Anyway, that was that. On the 16th, so this was on the 16th at 2 p.m. my time. An hour later, you can see another email. It says, as per email, I understand your concern, because I had emailed them back. In regards, please understand that item has been labeled from your end. They're saying it again, hence why they request that I remove it. Further, please be apprised, blah, blah, blah. Moreover, be known that if number of units are above 50, the relabeling cannot be processed as per Amazon policies. Anyway, this was just like everything I was going through. So I had all of those listings taken down, all of this going on. You know, at the same time, I have 2 other brands on Amazon that I now am supposed to also still take care of. I have my YouTube channel, my coaching business, my Facebook group, but the bread and butter is my Amazon brands. So I had no choice but to take a step back, which is why if you're, been following me from day one, I did not bring out a video during October because, it was, it would just have not, it would have been hard for me to make a video, and it also would have been really fake because I was not so happy during that time. Anyway, back to the restrictions. So this is just an example. I have so many of these, but I'm not going to bore you with the amount of screenshots that I have. This is just the examples of how much I was on the phone with seller support. So you can see here that on the 12th of October, 23 minutes, 13th of October, 1 hour and 4 minutes, whenever this was, 29 minutes, 33 minutes, 23 minutes again on the 15th. And then on the 15th, later on that day, or earlier that day, 14 minutes. This went on for weeks. I was calling them every single day, working my butt off to get my listings back. One of those best sellers is a product that makes over $50,000 in revenue a month. And it doesn't have a huge increase during Prime Day, but it has something significant enough that this was just honestly a disaster. Anyway, that happened. Moving on. On the 16th of October, I had received this email. I'm writing to follow up regarding the reinstatement of one of the Asins. As per the update we received from our internal team, because they were, having the internal team take care of this, there is a mismatch in the detail page as there are images which does not match the title and description. Now, if I wasn't an experienced seller who's been through enough shit, I would have been extremely confused but wait a minute, you're saying that the problem is the prohibited keywords, but now you're saying it's the images? What? What are you talking about? Anyway, I ignored this email because it's just bull. This is just some more emails. Honestly, I have so many of these. This is just a few of them, but you can see on the 21st, thank you for your patience. We reviewed the Asin. We're determined that the Asin will not be reinstated since there is a mismatch. Now, mismatch in the product title and ingredients attribute. Understand that I had already updated flat files repeatedly. I repeatedly uploaded flat files every single day, all the time. Well, not every day, but I uploaded heaps of flat files. And I had also updated the back end physically on Amazon. But it just wasn't, there were some things that just weren't updating. So one of the things was the ingredients, which ended up being the main issue. Anyway, sometime during this, I got 3 listings back up. They were down for a couple of days, but the bestseller was still down. So I kept pushing through, kept emailing them, kept trying to make the difference. To be honest, I think that on the 21st of October, I didn't realize yet that part of the issue was the ingredients. Now, right now, as I'm reading this email, I don't know if I paid attention to it where it said ingredients because it was not the main thing that I was looking at. The main thing that I was looking at was the bullet points and the backend keywords and the description. I don't think at this time I had really paid attention to the ingredients, and I can see it says here cocoa leaves. I can't remember, to be honest. Anyway, you can see on the 25th, we have determined it's not going to be reinstated and no information. And then on the 25th also that they're saying that it's restricted for PCRP, for cocoa leaves. And then this is on the 31st of October. At this stage, I had realized that the ingredients is really the main issue and the reason why the last Asin's not being brought back up. So I got Amazon on the phone. This was the Oh My God call, I call it. And finally I had, during that time I was speaking to different seller support people every single day. Some of them knew what they were talking about. Some of them had no freaking idea. And on this day, God sent me an amazing seller support person who had really, really helped me. He was the most helpful out of everyone. And evidential, a few days later, we got the listing back. He had said to me, look, the issue is that the ingredients for the product is coming up as cocoa leaves and no one can change it apart from brand registry, which I had not heard of in the past. And I said, why can only brand registry change it? Anyway, never mind. He opened up a ticket and asked me what the actual ingredients was. I told him it hadn't been changed yet, but that was that. And then he said to me, I just noticed, ma'am, that you said that you can see an uploaded flat file that you did not upload. Now, know that I had said the entire story every single time I was on the phone with an Amazon seller support person. I had told them the story from scratch every single time. So every time I said to them, somebody uploaded a flat file with backend keywords that are restricted in order to take me down, blah, 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 blah. And they asked me, how do you know? And then I say, I can see the flat file from within my account. This was the first, and by the way, I'd also said this to big Amazon sellers, and no one had said what I'm about to tell you. And the guy said, if you see the flat file from within your account, it means that it was uploaded from within your account. And then I had a heart attack. Not actually, but that is when I was like, what the fuck did you just say? That is when I had just had it up to here. I was like, are you saying someone hacked my account and we're only noticing it right now? It just makes no freaking sense. Now, take into consideration that I am extremely, I have so many security measures in place. It is so highly unlikely that anyone could hack my account without me knowing about it. So anyway, I remember this was in the middle of the night and I was stressing out because I was like, what the hell? And I was starting to think, who could it be? I started thinking about all the different softwares that have access to my account, although they're all extremely, extremely well-known and trusted, like Helium 10 and etc. And then I, started thinking about who else has access, and it's only my husband and I. Anyway, lots of different things were going through my mind. I was just honestly I'm getting stressed speaking about it because I remember how I felt when this happened, and I just felt like I was under a major attack because I had gone through the last 2 weeks not knowing that this flat file that you're seeing, which is this one here on the October 12th, 2020 at 4:30 a.m. PDT time, I did not know that it was from within my account. Anyway, I woke my husband up because it happened in the middle of the night when I was on the phone with him. You can see at 1 a.m. it says you've successfully changed your password. It's 1 a.m. my time. And then at 1:15 in the morning, I had opened up because the rep had told me, hang up, call again and ask for an investigation. Because I said to him, look, it's highly unlikely anyone has ever been able to hack this account. I honestly believe it's an inside job. And he was like, there's no way it was an inside job. And I said, don't tell me there's no way. There can be. I know that you guys can find access to these in different teams. You guys have the ability to do this. I want an investigation done. So he told me what to do. And this is where there were 4 or 5 of these. I don't know why I wrote issue an account activity not done by us. I think it was because I was too scared to say someone hacked our account or something like that, because I didn't want them to deactivate the account or pause it because there were other products sold on that account. Anyway, I know that I'm blabbing on, but I just feel it's important to tell you everything. Anyway, so this was the aha moment where I said to you in the beginning of the video that I believe it was an inside job. Who else could have uploaded this flat file? It wasn't me. It wasn't my husband. We did not sabotage our own, products. And it's, I couldn't download and see this flat file. I don't know why. It's the only flat file that I could not see the information. When you clicked on download, there is no information there. If anyone watching this has, better insight, because I've spoken to every single person I know that can give me insight on this, feel free to, but I still believe it was an inside job, meaning that an Amazon rep was bribed to do this. But I have, this is the only proof I have. I mean, each one of these flat files has a specific unique number, and I opened up an investigation with Amazon and never got an answer back, but I did get my listings back 2 days later. So who knows? So on the 1st of November, which was actually the 31st of October in America, seller support confirmed that the ingredients needed to be changed was the poppy seeds. I think it actually was the cocoa leaves, not the poppy seeds. I think that was a mistake that I wrote here. It opened a ticket with brand registry. On the 2nd of November, I became furious, went off on seller support that I will be going to the press. So the day after that conversation with that guy from seller support, I had a breakdown and basically just went apeshit at the person I was speaking to. And I was like, I'm going to go to the press. I know that this was an inside job. You guys are not giving me information. They kept saying that they're within their investigation. They can't give me any details, but they're sure that everything's going to be fine now that the ingredients had been changed. But I wanted answers for where did this flat file come from? I mean, it's Amazon, right? We know that they track our IP address. So where did this flat file come from? Who uploaded it? And up to now, I still have no answers. Anyway, on the 3rd of November, the last listing that was taken down, which is also the bestseller, had come back. This is a little screenshot you can see from Christina from my group, who is also a copywriter and also a good friend of mine, and also a past student of mine. We also have a video together about her success story in this channel. Anyway, you can see that on the 3rd of November, I wrote to her, the listing's back, woohoo! I got it back damn fucking straight. And I wrote that because, you know, I went through shit to get this last listing back. But I did get it back, and you can see I'm so happy, current mood. I have a little image there. So that was that. And then the variations reviews had now been merged, which I told you in the beginning, which was the only good thing to come out of this thing. So that is what happened to me. That is my October, which could have looked very, very different. But that is what happened. Now, what to do if this ever happens to you? So number one, this is things that I have learned from my experience of going through this. Number one, have flat files downloaded and ready to fix. Number two, now if you don't really understand too much about flat files, honestly, go to YouTube and look them up. There's a really good video there. I don't remember who it's by, but I also had to look up that video in order to really make sure that I'm not making any mistakes, because I was shitting myself when I was making them. And anyway, when it happened, if it does ever happen to you, I hope it never happens to you, but if it does, check your back end. Always go in and check your back end. Not only that, check your Canadian and Mexican accounts. Some of you watching this don't even know, but if at the top of your Seller Central where it says www.amazon.com, you click on that and you'll have a drop down and you'll see Canada and Mexico, because you automatically have those accounts by selling on Amazon.com. Don't stop emailing Amazon. So I emailed Amazon every single day. I was on the phone with them every single day. I did not just give up and say, okay, Amazon. Every day I was on the phone and trying to make these changes. Go into Facebook communities and ask others if they're going through this as well. Because if you're the only one going through it, then it means that it's just one person attacking you. But if many, many people are going through it, especially if the many people that are going through it are within your niche, you know, it's probably like a type of bot attack. Check your competitors to see if there are others suddenly missing as well. Stay connected with people in the industry, not only for support, but also tips and tricks to help you. So like I said, you know, I'm very blessed. I've been selling on Amazon for 4 years, and even before YouTube, I was very well connected in the industry. But also, you know, in the last year, I've made even more contacts, and I was very, very blessed by all sorts of much, much bigger. So I'm a 7-figure seller, which means honestly nothing. You know, when I say it means nothing, I mean, when you hear these numbers, don't let it, you know, make you think that it's a huge deal. Becoming a 7-figure seller is not that difficult on Amazon. What really matters is your profit margins. But the reason I'm dropping numbers is because I had 8-figure sellers helping me with this, and no one had the perfect resolution for this. It was really just back and forth with Amazon. Anyway, never rely only on Amazon. Have your own external awareness too, and your own online store. So we have our own online store. If you follow this YouTube channel, then you know that I'm all about branding and about, you know, also selling products that you build a brand around and you sell them outside of Amazon as well. So we're very lucky. Well, you know, I say lucky, it's not luck. It was always our strategy. But anyway, we have our own online stores outside of Amazon. The only issue was that up to this happening, you know, and I feel kind of stupid now after 4 years that this was the way that we were doing it, but we were always fulfilling our orders outside of Amazon from Amazon. Amazon multi-channel fulfillment was what was fulfilling these orders. But once you have a product blocked, as in it's actually restricted, Amazon no longer allowed us to fulfill orders. So I now could not fulfill orders anymore, which is why it says here, always have 3PLs for fulfillment on hand, which I didn't have. And, you know, it's not the end of the world, but I've learned my lesson from that. So I will from now on always have a 3PL fulfillment center as a backup, just in case this happens. And always have good lawyers and lawyer referrals on hand. So I'll put my lawyers down below, or contacts that can possibly help you if this ever happens to you. Most important message from this video is, if this ever happens to you, don't quit. Don't give up. Build your brand off of Amazon as well, and get into niches. Now, the reason I say get into niches is because when you sell in super niche products, most of the time you don't go through this type of thing. Like, think about it. It took me 4 years until I went through something like this. So, you know, every niche at some point, I'm sure there will be, you know, Chinese sellers coming into there, where usually the black hat stuff comes from there. And I'm not, you know, saying that to sound racist. It's just, it is the truth. Most of the black hat stuff that happens is usually coming in from China, and, you know, over 50% of Amazon sellers are Chinese sellers. So when you get into niches, it usually takes much, much longer for them to get saturated. Of course, it's very dependent. But if watching this video in any way has sort of put you off Amazon, let's remember that every single business has two sides to it, right? We have an amazing side and we have the shittier side. It doesn't matter what business you come up with. Now, I will say that I did explain this really, really well in the ping pong payments interview that I had. So we're going to switch over quickly to the 3 or 4 minutes of what I said there, and then we'll come back here. To be an entrepreneur, you need resilience. You need to know how to figure stuff out. You need to be prepared for, you know, my dad taught me as a little girl, hope for the best, expect the worst, right? The first thing when that happened was not, oh my God, let's quit selling on Amazon. The first thing when that happened was, oh my God, how shitty is this? How do I solve the problem? Entrepreneurs are problem solvers. Entrepreneurs are not people that something shitty happens, they lift their hands up, right? And if you are that type of person, yeah, Amazon, in my opinion, isn't for you. Because not just Amazon, business. Being a business owner, like, we've owned restaurants, we've done many things in our lifetime, my husband and I. My husband's 8 years older than me. We've done many, many different things, and business is hard, right? Like, absolutely. My dad always told me as a little girl, when the owners have a different headache from the employees, right? So he used to always say to me, the people who know how work for the people who know why. And it's a quote from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. My dad had a huge impact on who I am today. And he told me all these things. And business in itself, like, if you were selling in a store, any business, a restaurant, anything, it has its own headaches. It has its own shitty situation. You know, suppliers don't pay you on time, or different things happen, or you don't have the money to pay suppliers on time, or, you know, there's all sorts of different things that can happen. Business is hard, and either you're resilient or not. Either you know how to pivot in times, you know, or you don't. Either shitty things happen and you lift your hands up, or you keep going, right? And Amazon, you need to know you don't have 100% control. You don't. No one's going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you. You don't have 100% control. And that's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket, and you build outside of Amazon as well. Or you have multiple products, many smaller products. And yeah, I think that if hearing my story puts you off, then it's not for you. Straight up. It's not for you, because it could happen to you. I'm not trying to scare you, but it could. It could. Right. If you've got a selling product that's in front of people's eyeballs, it could happen to you. And if that is going to be the make or break of you, then it's not for you. Not just Amazon, entrepreneurship. Because building a business is difficult. You know, it's not easy. But at the same time, I have a big house. I have freedom, right? My most important thing is my freedom. I don't have the Lamborghinis, and because I don't give a shit about that stuff. I honestly don't. What I care about is that when I want to buy something, I don't have to think twice. And that could even just be buying a toy for my son that's expensive, and I feel like buying it because I feel like buying it. When I want to,
you worked hard to give it to him. Yeah, absolutely.
I work really freaking hard to give it to him, and I can consistently work hard to give it to him. And I'm a businesswoman, and I will continue to bring out new businesses over time. But my freedom, and it's not the freedom to be on my Lamborghini all day because I don't have one. The freedom to do what I want is the most important thing to me. And everyone has freedom. Like freedom, what it means to me and what it means to you could be two totally different things, right? And you don't have to be a 7-figure seller to be kicking ass on Amazon. You could be a 6-figure seller or even a 5-figure seller, and that's enough for you. You know, and that's why I did YouTube, so that people, just because you're not making $100 million or $7 million or $1 million doesn't mean you're not kicking ass in your way, right?
Absolutely.
We all have our different goals. But you have to know that you need to kick ass. You need to be able. It's why we're called the alphas. It's why I call my group the FBA alphas. Alphas don't, they don't give up. It's you fight and you battle until you die, right? The wolf, the main alpha, he doesn't. It's either to replace him, he's got to die. And I'll keep kicking ass until that happens. Hopefully, when I'm 90 years old. And so that's my attitude for it. I know not everyone's like me. Most people probably aren't, like that, but you don't have to be 100% like me. You can be a little bit less aggressive and still make it. But I do think that it's important to know there's a beautiful side to Amazon. Amazon gave me freedom. Amazon opened up a lot of doors for me. Amazon gave me the ability to produce products and get it in front of not millions, but tens of thousands of people. And I'm thankful for Amazon, and I'm also thankful that I'm smart enough to know how to get off of Amazon as well. I really hope that that really quick video from my interview with Ping Pong has still inspired you to keep going. And even when you see a video like this showing you the other side of Amazon, I hope that it still gives you the want to be resilient and to never quit, knowing that this could happen, because shit happens in every single industry. It doesn't matter where you're selling. I do want to wish you happy selling. If you don't know, I do have a product research and sourcing course, and you are welcome to check it out on www.sharonevan.com and click on courses. It's honestly, in my opinion, the best product research course out there, and we also have sourcing in there as well. And this is where you can find me. If you have any questions, you can ask them below here. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure there's going to be some gurus disliking it because they don't want people to see these types of videos. So please do like this video if you like the video. And make sure to join my Amazon FBA Alphas group. And if you have any questions, I will try my best to answer them. I realize that this video is not a usual one. Make sure to check out my other videos on my channel, and I'll see you all in the next video.